Hello, this is video attempt number 4. This video, the purpose of the video is because I'm selling this amp. This is a very old 1962 Fender Bandmaster amp. It is the oxblood covering. It's got the sought after 15-inch tone ring cabinet. That speaker is the 1964 and the 1962 amp, so it has been changed, but it's been changed with something pretty comparable. It's got the original knobs across the front. Now the only thing in this amp that I changed out was capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, and maybe 2 or 3, I don't remember, 2 or 3 resistors that were out of spec. Other than that, everything was in good shape. The choke was original in good shape, transformer, and I re-glued the Tolex onto the cabinet because it was letting go. I wanted to keep it as original as I could because people freak out if you change too much on them, and I don't blame them. I like to keep things as original as I can. In fact, I kept the old capacitors, and they will go with the amp. But do not put those old capacitors in there thinking there's some kind of magic tone on the old capacitors. There is not. These old amps had good capacitors in them when they made the recordings from the 60s and 70s that you like so much. If you want that sound that amp made in 1975, you got to have good capacitors. Hell, they used to change capacitors every 4 or 5 years in the old days because capacitors wasn't that good. So with that being said, you have to have the capacitors in the proper, giving out the proper voltages, because it'll offset things. Like you'll either have too much bass or not enough bass, or too much tremolo speed or not enough, too much tremolo depth, intensity or not enough. And this is what capacitors does. It regulates the voltage through the board. So you need to have those capacitors and as close to its spec as you can. And this amp is. And the amp sounds good. And you can hear there's not a lot of hum and carrying on in this amp. This is a 1979 Gibson guitar, so it's got the old T pickups in it. So you can imagine it'll sound a little different when you play your Fender guitar through it, but you can get an idea of the tone. That's your clear channel. This is your vibrato channel. Distort. That's pretty loud. It doesn't really want to distort because this amp is not really made to distort. It's made to keep clean. But of course, you can run any box you want to get any sound. of this amp is how loud can you go and it stay clean. Little tremolo. Okay, so that'll kind of give you an idea that the amp is playing. There's not a lot of scratching the knobs. One of the things I did whenever we did the amp is put some spray in those pots and clean those up. And they all turn nice and smooth. None of them is really sticky. It's a good old amp. You're not likely to come across an amp like this, especially if you're local, man. These amps, you'll probably never get a chance to get a local amp like this again. And I really want to sell it local if I can, so I don't have to worry about shipping this thing. So if I can, I'll cut a deal with you. So send me a message if you're local, and you can come get this amp, and you'll get it a whole lot cheaper than what you'll get it on eBay. So that being said, thank you for taking a look in this video, and I'm going to try to load it up and get it out there as quick as I can for you. Thank you.